welcome, and you're here for a discussion of the State of the Union address by President Obama in 2013. I have my colleague Paul Peterson from Harvard University Education Next and the Hoover Institution with me, and I'm Eric Hanushek of the Hoover Institution. We thought that this was a good time to give our review of what we heard in the State of the Union with respect to education. Paul, what did you hear?
Well, one of the interesting things is what was missing. There was nothing said about the main part of our educational system, K-12 education. There was some talk about STEM teachers. We need more math and science teachers, and 10,000 more teachers are going to be encouraged to sign up. But really, in terms of elementary and high schools, there was no talk about how to improve, enhance our accountability system. There was no new departure for the very heart of our educational system. And so I thought that was amazing.
It's absolutely remarkable, isn't it, that we have a $600 billion a year activity in K-12 education, and our only recommendation is do something outside of that with preschool. And everything else seems to be fine, I would guess, by inference.
Yeah, well, colleges we need to do something about, and we need to have something for kids under the age of 5, and we can just let the rest of the system drift. So, but we know that the basic heart of our educational system is not functioning. We're way behind other countries around the world. How are we going to catch up? We didn't hear about new investment in resources, but even more important, we didn't have any new strategies of reform.
Well, my problem is not that he mentioned preschool, which I think that we could improve our preschool programs for disadvantaged kids, is that the way he introduced this was universal preschool, I think for 3 and 4-year-olds, but this is just a middle class transfer. The people who really need the preschool are disadvantaged students who are coming to school unprepared. And if we're going to expand our preschool, we have 2 things to do. One is deal with the million students that are already in Head Start, which is our federal government preschool program, which has been a disaster. And secondly, to think of how we can target our preschooling for these most disadvantaged kids.
Well, we know we have limited funds. There's not much money available from the federal government for hardly anything, given the size of the debt problem and the deficit problem and the difficulties of getting anything through Congress. And it would seem to me that if somebody proposed taking the Head Start resources that are out there and reprogram them, that would be a policy that you might get some bipartisan support for, but I didn't hear that.
No, this has been actually a problem for some time, is that Head Start has been run out of the Health and Human Services Department and not the Education Department, and yet we're trying to think of that as a education program. Before we end, the other thing that I think we should come back to is the fact that in 2007 we were supposed to reauthorize No Child Left Behind. And we're sort of off that cycle.
Well, you know that by 2014, every child in America, and 2014 I don't think is that far away. I think, in fact, it's next year, every child in the country is going to be proficient in reading and mathematics.
Well, maybe we should call a halt to this and put it on pause until 2014.
Well, it's not a good time to have lots of new initiatives in education or any other policy, given all the other things that are on the government's plate. And so I think if we're going to see change in education today, we're going to see it at the state and local level.
I believe so too. Thanks, Paul.